Hello everyone, welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. I'm out and about today. I'm in the street and in a short moment I'll be passing by a charity shop. This week's weekly lesson is all about charity, gifts, deliveries, and if you read my weekly lesson, you'll know why. You can probably hear the busker behind me. A busker is the man who plays music on the street. And there's someone playing jazz. Well, I think it's jazz. I could be wrong there. Maybe it's not. And I'm just approaching... I'm sorry. Sorry, yes. I'm just approaching the window of the charity shop. I can't actually make the podcast inside it, but I'll be standing outside. Now, for those of you who don't know, a charity shop is basically a store where you can buy second-hand items. And you wouldn't know the difference. I mean, the quality of the item itself is very, very good. With clothing, depending on the item, it may look a bit worn, but generally speaking, all of the things are actually very, very nice. And if you're looking for a used TV, of course, it's a charity. Things are very cheap. People have donated, and also because we live in a very disposable culture, you can pretty much pick up anything. You can pick up new beds, new furniture, new TVs. It's kind of sad because it shows that we don't value things. But it's a great alternative to using the local library because they always have tons and tons of fiction. And you can go in there, buy a book, take it back, donate it, and buy a new one. So you are actually helping them. They're called charity shops because they're usually run by charities. Some of these charities are very famous, like Cancer Research, and others might be smaller, more local. The local hospice has one, for example. And there's others as well. This one is called Deborah. I'm just outside it now. It's a sunny day here in the UK. There's a few people standing around. I can only describe them as strange. I hope they're not going to talk to me. They look like they're either looking for money or they're planning to maybe meet other people. I don't know, but I'm just trying to avoid them. So there we are. Right. This one in particular is for a charity called Deborah. And it has a website, which is deborah.org.uk, D-E-B-R-A. And the sign outside says it's the skin cancer charity. So I'm looking in the window here. It's very busy. Many people are inside. And I'm looking at a TV, a big TV. It's a Sony 36-inch screen. It's £60. And... it's sitting on a glass table, which is £40. There's a bedside cabinet, £30. There's 3 books sitting there, which are £1.50 each. A beautiful lamp at only £10. And another bookcase at £60. I don't know why the bookcase and the TV would be the same price, because, of course, the TV is an electronic item, and it looks much more snazzy. It means better or more fashionable than the bookcase does, which clearly is old. There's people moving around in there, young and old, particularly the book section. I can see that there's many, many coats, hats, scarves, gloves, costumes, bedding, curtains. When you go to a charity shop, they all kind of specialize in different things. So this one, its thing is furniture. And if you go to another one, its thing might, for example, be books. Or you get to other charity shops that specialize in records, you know. So I'm just having a look to see if there's anything here that I would want to buy. And there's nothing really. I mean, the TV, the bookcase, both would look very nice in my apartment. But the big problem with these things is unless you drive, which I don't, it's very hard to move the things because there'll be a delivery charge of around £50. Now, of course, if you buy something from a normal shop, it's either going to be flat packed or there won't be a delivery charge. So that's the downside. And of course, some of these charity shops simply don't deliver. So this isn't one that I would come to. Now, another thing that I'm often asked about is the shame of going to a charity shop. Many of you might feel, well, not very comfortable buying something that's second-hand, especially clothes. And I have to say that when they brought the charity shops here, when it became a thing here in the UK, yeah, I also felt that. I really didn't like them. My mother used to go crazy for them. She loved them. So did my grandmother. But as it became more common, I realized that you can actually get some really good bargains in there, especially with furniture. So now if I want to buy anything, my port of call is going to be eBay or a charity shop because things look just as good. I mean, I don't really feel so comfortable buying clothes in a charity shop, but I would have no hesitation in buying furniture, lamps, anything to do with my apartment, rugs, that kind of thing. They're all dry cleaned and ready to resell, so there's nothing about them that you could say is bad or dirty or something like that. They're all very, very nice. You have to be quite careful, I think, because although it's a charity, the people who work in there are all volunteers. So it's not like if you have a problem, you can march back and say, oh yeah, I bought here this last week and it has a problem. You can't really do that because it's a charity. But having said that, if it's one of the more famous charities, they are very accommodating and they will allow you to exchange things. So in that way, some of them, most of them, it is more or less just like a normal shop, you know. They're everywhere. If you go down any street in the UK, I can guarantee you'll find a charity shop. How do you know it's a charity shop? Well, we know by the names. It looks a little bit old-fashioned sometimes because they usually don't have the money to invest in a good shop front. But yeah, it just isn't as snazzy or as bright as some shops because, of course, they're trying to save cash. You might know if it's a clothes shop and you walk in, you might have a faint smell. You know, you might pick up a faint smell or odor, not of dirt, but something that you might recognize as being old. You know, if you go into an old furniture shop, sometimes you pick up a scent, a smell, and it kind of reminds you of stuff. Maybe even a smell of dampness, something like that. In some of them, you might pick that up. You would know that's a charity shop. But most of them, especially now, you don't even have that. So you've got no way of knowing. So it's very interesting. And that's a little introduction to charity shops. They're even online. The most famous one here is Oxfam. They have specialized bookstores, books and record stores, furniture stores. They're everywhere. And there's also others too. So yeah, it just depends what you're looking for. And if you want to help a local charity, and they're all registered with the government. So it's not like someone is giving you a thing that's, well, they're not giving you anything, they're selling you things. But it's not like it's some kind of scam, you know. These names of charity shops are all very well known to us, and the Charities Commission regulates them. So it's all above board. That just means there's nothing dodgy about it. It's not under the counter, so to speak, or shady. It's all above board, so it's all fine. And so that is a little introduction to charity shops. And we're talking about that because of my weekly lesson, which is all about how somebody appeared at my neighbour's house with a washing machine, a toaster, and a heater, and was basically saying, can I leave this for my neighbour? I said yes. My neighbour disappeared. And now I have a heater, a toaster, and a washing machine which aren't mine, and I'm kind of scratching my head trying to work out what to do with them. It's kind of complicated. I'll tell you the story another time, or you can read it in my weekly lesson. And there we are. That's it from me today. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Let's talk soon. Bye.